All right, Good Better Broker from UWM Live as we bring in Elizabeth Cassidy. She is with Future Home Loans in Palm Bay, Florida. Elizabeth,
Yes,
welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
It's so great to have you here. A little bit about you. First and foremost, you are an Air Force veteran, so
I am.
thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's very kind.
You closed 142 units last year,
I did.
83% purchase volume, more than half VA deals.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing 70 to 100 VA loans a year, so being a veteran yourself, this is clearly a big focus for you.
Yes, hands down.
Tell us why.
It's second nature to me. I talk the lingo. I've walked the walk. I can speak it to them. I understand their frustrations and their nervousness and their questions. It's just, when I went through the home buying process as the first time as a veteran, I was just kind of pushed along the side. I was treated almost as if it was like a subpar loan product, like, oh man, VA loan. And I don't want people to feel that way. Like, it's, for lack of a better word, it pisses me off. So I have a book of business and referral partners, and they know if it's a veteran in Brevard County or even some in the state of Florida, they're like, Elizabeth is the only person that we will call. And I love that reputation for myself. They're just the most humble, great people to do mortgage for. I wouldn't change a single thing about my focus and where I've aligned it.
So for you, this is not just business, this is clearly personal as well.
It's 1,000,000% personal. Everything that I do is 1,000,000% personal, to a fault sometimes, but yes.
I love it. I love it. You were also a real estate agent for 3 years, but you said, this is actually funny, you said you didn't know anything about VA loans when you were an agent.
No, I had no idea. Nobody taught me the questions to ask. Nobody taught me the perks or the benefits. So I was a real estate agent, primarily serving the Luke Air Force Base community. And I didn't know anything about what the mortgage process was for the people that I was serving. I knew that they were coming. I knew that they were stationed, or something was bringing them to Luke Air Force Base area. But I didn't know a whole lot of other, aside from to ask, like, do you have a certificate of eligibility? That was about the extent that at the time my retail lender that we had partnered with in the office, that's what they taught me to say. Anything aside from that, it was like, yeah, no, you don't need to know anything. And I make it very important to educate my agents that like to serve in any capacity in the military community. I mean, the state of Florida is the third largest VA state in the entire country. Like, we have veterans coming in waves. So if you are in any capacity of the real estate world and you don't know a thing or two about the VA loan, then you're maybe living under a rock in the state of Florida, because chances are you've had a veteran come across your desk that wants to buy a house with you.
All right, you dropped that R word, and that is retail. You used to be on the retail side.
Yeah.
And this is funny. You said you didn't even know the difference between retail and wholesale, and then you quickly found out because you saw what retail was charging.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It was insulting. I was embarrassed to even have to bring it up to clients. I'm like, oh, hey, fun fact, I have really high interest rates and I have all these garbage fees, and I hope that you work with me because you like me. Like, you can like me and I can also not, screw you. So that's what I very quickly made the switch when I connected with the person that runs Future.
Well, we are certainly happy to have you in the broker channel. And you said that you learned the VA handbook, front to back, and you said that is a non-negotiable for folks out there who are looking to focus on VA loans. Why?
You have to, that's your Bible. It's the way that the VA has their eyes intended on the VA loan product. It's how we protect veterans. And unfortunately, there are loan companies, underwriters, appraisers. There are people out there that don't know what they don't know because they've never experienced it. So it's not that we use it. It's not a tool that we use to be like, gotcha. It's my backbone. It's like, oh no, actually this is allowed, and here's the evidence that tells you it is. So if you don't like it, you have to take that up with the VA. But until then, this is what they've said yes to, so you must say yes. We're not negotiating this anymore.
You mentioned this a couple of minutes ago, that obviously being a veteran yourself, you know the military lingo. And you said that, when working with veterans on a mortgage, it's a completely different level of emotion.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yes. Most of them are being told to move to a place that they don't want to go. If they are active duty, they're like, hey, we know that you've established relationships, friendships, maybe you're by family. Time to pack that up and go move somewhere where you maybe don't want to go. And you would think that the state of Florida, like, everyone would be bonkers excited. The majority of them are. I mean, I serve very close to Patrick Space Force Base, which is right on the ocean. But not everyone is excited because they're leaving family, or they're leaving their network of people and their friends where like they could care less if the beach is 3 doors down from them. They're going to miss their people. And so some of them, they're not happy for the process in general. And so it's my job to be like, hey, like, I know this sucks. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take X, Y, and Z off of your plate to make sure that it's a little bit less of a suck. And we're going to get you, at least into a house where you can start to build a new home and, a new present for you and your family.
When you are having conversations with your VA borrowers, you tell them that you are going to fight for them.
Yes.
And
yes.
you make that very clear.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I tell them I'm excited for if we get a low appraisal because I get to go in on that. And they're like, wait, what? We were told that we don't want that. I'm like, you're right, we don't. And chances are we won't get it. But in the event that we do, like, game on, let's go. So it's something where I fight every avenue of it. It's in not any way to discredit anyone's knowledge or what they do or don't do for people. But I just had a listing agent last week that said to me, we prefer to just have a conventional loan. I said, fun fact, you actually don't. We're going to talk about this, and you're going to agree to this VA offer in the next 24 hours and give me the contract. So we had a conversation. By the end of the business day, I had the contract in my inbox, and it was a VA offer that they had accepted.
Yeah, you are such a passionate advocate for veterans, and I think it's just so admirable. And you talked about, trying to educate people, and a lot of what you do focuses on real estate agents and trying to debunk some of those assumptions they have about veteran borrowers, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually licensed in the state of Florida to be able to teach continuing education focused on the VA loan. And the process is start to finish. And the first thing I always get from people is they always appraise low. And I look at them and smile. I'm like, my track record says that they don't, but we don't need to get in the logistics of that. I start with, well, let's talk about why. Let's talk about why you're telling me that the seller says no, they don't want it, because I would put money on the fact it's not the seller. It's somewhere down the line, someone in the profession has said, no, we're not going to do this. And we need to change that narrative, because if they were good enough to put a uniform on and die for you when they don't know you, they should be good enough to be able to buy your home.
Wow, that's pretty impactful.
Yes.
Right there. You are big on building trusting relationships with your real estate agents. How do you go through that process?
I treat them like humans. When I was a real estate agent, you could tell the people that were genuine and were just ingenuine. I was blessed with some really great relationships with some very genuine, kind retail loan officers who are still, like, just because they work in the world of retail does not mean that they are not wonderful humans. They were. But then you also got the vibe from those that walked in. They're like, you're just as good as your next deal. Some of my best friends in the world of real estate maybe do 2 transactions with me a year. I love them just the same. Like, I know things about their family, about their kids. They invite me to birthday parties. We talk once a month about why they're frustrated with this market. Like, I treat them like they're humans. It's just, that's their job, but they are a human being in my circle first. So if anything, they're going out there and they're spreading the good news of what I can do and what my company can do in the world of VA loans and other loans. We do all of it, as all brokers do, but they're spreading the topic and the concept of how we do it so well that they're a walking billboard. And why would I not love those people? I
think our listeners would find this interesting about you. Yeah. You said that you have gained a lot of high producing referral partners who you've never even met.
Yes. To this day. Yes.
Okay, how have you done it? You got to tell us.
I over communicate with them. I really appreciate what they do. I thank them for anything and everything. If they bring me a client that's $150,000, buying their starter home, I treat them the exact same as I do if there's someone that's buying beachside with 2 commas in their price point. Like, it doesn't faze me. And I just appreciate them and their hard work. I think part of it too is coming from the world of real estate. I know how difficult it is to gain those leads, to be able to secure those people that are even willing to let you be the person to write the offer for them. I'm not going to let those people fall to the wayside if they're trusting me to do the mortgage. And so there's a bucket of them that I've never met before in person. Like, we've had video chats, we've texted back and forth, called, but no, in person, no. And it's wild to me that they trust me and they've never got to, see me. I don't know. They could judge me because they don't like the way I feel in my eyebrows because I suck at doing my own makeup. I have no idea. But they do. They trust what we do, and they know that we're good people and we're doing good by our consumers. And they know that we have great partners like UWM who they're not going to let a loan fail unless we have overturned everything and we just sucked at our job at the beginning. But they know that we don't. So they trust us.
All right, I'm going to put this one on a tee for you to knock right out of the park.
Go for it.
How much satisfaction do you get from saving a deal for a veteran who was denied by retail and then you get their loan done exceptionally fast.
I reach out to the loan officer that denied them.
You do?
I do. I absolutely do. I let them know why we were able to approve it. I let them know how being a broker is better, because shocker, it is. And I let them know if they ever want to have a conversation to advance their career so they don't have to give away commissions, they are welcome to call me. Here's my cell phone number. And I thank them for attempting to help this person. Mm-hmm.
That's a sick burn.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do it to be mean. Well, I do it a little bit.
Well, you take a little bit. It's okay to take a little bit of satisfaction.
A little bit, yeah. I'm like, you put this veteran through the ringer for the last 6 weeks, and then you said no? Like, you know, I was able to do it in 7 days thanks to my partners and my knowledge and how these people trusted me. So let's improve your life and find you a better place to work.
Man, well said. You are doing a lot of good things for all those veterans out there.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate having you. Elizabeth Cassidy from
Thank you.
Future Home Loans, thank you so much.
Thank you.